Our student spotlight this week is Aiden Ramirez. He's a valedictorian and with way above a 4.0. He's also our head captain for our varsity cross country team. Let's hear more about his story and how he became a runner and also an amazing student. Let's go see what he says.
Okay, who am I here with today?
My name's Aiden Ramirez.
Where were you born, and describe the area?
Well, I'm born and raised Desert Rat. I was born at St. Mary's Hospital in, I think it's Apple Valley here.
Okay. What was your early childhood like?
My early childhood, I was very energetic, very. I loved Legos. I tried a lot of sports and I wasn't very good at any of them. But I always had a fun childhood, nothing really wrong. Yeah.
Did you play Legos with any other people or just yourself?
Just kind of myself, I would sit in my room for hours each day, kind of lonely, but you're not really lonely when you're playing with Legos like that and having fun.
Okay, what type of Legos were you building?
My mom, I remember, had a blue, she bought me for like my 5th birthday, like one of those big blue boxes full of all the different kinds that you could build stuff with. And then I would get like different sets like Christmas or my birthday, so yeah.
So that was your favorite Christmas present?
Mm-hmm.
With Legos?
I still get Legos to this day.
That's crazy. When you're a kid, who was always there for you, like during your hard times or like struggles within your life?
I'd have to say it was my mom, She kind of got me through everything and helped me learn how to pick myself up whenever something happened. It wasn't just she carried me through, she taught me how to get through things.
What type of things do you do that she taught you?
Just if you had a bad day, how to get through that. If you didn't do good on a test, how to get through that. If you didn't do good with athletics, maybe how to get through that. How to deal with hard stuff and just balancing stuff.
Okay. And then when did you find out of cross country and what made you want to join cross country?
I went to Sims as my middle school, and the cross country coach there was my 7th grade math teacher, and it was really one of the only sports they have. And so I was like, oh, I'll go out and try it. And at first I didn't really like it because it sucks, especially during the early fall where it's still hot. It sucks, but I learned to love it eventually, so yeah.
What made you fall in love with it?
Just being out there by yourself, you kind of think about things and it's just more peaceful. You kind of forget about what you're doing, the run and the pain that you're going through out there, and you forget it all and everything just goes away.
Okay. What is the hardest thing to overcome? What was the hardest thing you've had to overcome, either academics or athletically?
I'd have to say that athletically, I'm not good athletically at anything. Like running is something that's hard for me, and I'm not that naturally talented at it other than being, able-bodied and other than that, I'm not that naturally gifted at it. So I really had to push myself further than most people would to get to where I'm at today. And it was a very big struggle, waking up early, going and when no one else was, and running miles that no one else was. Yeah.
How about academically? What is the hardest challenge you faced?
It's balancing the workload, because academically the hardest part for me is balancing it all. Having multiple, I have 5 different assignments that are all going to take at least 45 minutes, if not an hour, one night, and then having to balance that with other tasks and life in general on top of the athletics.
Is there at some point in your life where you felt like you couldn't do it, but somehow you found a way to get over the hump?
That definitely happened with running. Sophomore year, I was JV cross country, and I was really just fighting for a track season to maybe make varsity, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I had to fight 4 seniors for a varsity spot that really we were all very close to, and I had to fight them for it. And the way I got through it was just making sure I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, working as hard as I could, and making sure that I was taking care of myself at the same time.
If you were to describe those feelings and emotions you were going through, like how would you describe those emotions and feelings?
It's definitely, it makes you anxious because you wonder, is all this work going to be for nothing? And I'd have to say, but once you get there, it's a sense of triumph that you really don't feel unless you've been in that position where you lose and lose and lose. It's a greater sense of triumph than just if you were naturally gifted at it or didn't struggle at all. It's a much greater sense.
And describe your like academic story. So like your grades, the type of classes you take, and just a little bit about that.
So I kind of went into high school. I just did Math 2, Honors English. That was about the only special things that I did. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my future. And so I just kind of went down that path of, okay, well, this isn't hard. I could keep going. I might as well. And around late sophomore year, I found out that I wanted to go to a bigger university and to study engineering. And I'm like, okay, I need to step it up, make sure my academics are where they need to be, make sure that I can handle this before I go to college. And so junior year, I ramped it up a little, taking 3 APs. And the entire time I was doing dual enrollment courses over all 4 years. And then this year, I'm doing 4 APs, 5 if you count the Gov and Econ each day switching. And I would say it's the workload that's the hardest thing. I feel like I knew that I could handle it, but I also wanted to have a life. And so one thing, I wanted to do a higher level computer science course, and I had to drop that knowing that I could have taken it, but I wanted to continue to have that outside life and be able to do things still.
Is there any like words of advice you would give to other people that are kind of in the same mental state as you were sophomore year, like you don't necessarily know what you got to do, and then you found college, and then is there any tips you could give to those students that felt like you at that time?
Do what you can, challenge yourself. I knew that I could keep going. I knew that, the classes I was taking sophomore year, I could handle way more than that. And so I knew I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I could handle more, so I might as well. And so if setting yourself on that path, if you chose that you wanted to go somewhere that wouldn't require high academics or anything like that, then then it wouldn't have been a waste because it wasn't like it was a crazy amount of extra work and you weren't going past your limits. You were just finding where your limits were.
What do you think the most challenging thing is athletically? Like, is it your physical ability or is it more mental?
Definitely mental. You have to get into this mindset of when you don't want to do something, that's your life. You have to do it. If you don't want to wake up to go run at 5:30 on a Saturday morning, you have to go wake up to go run at 5:30 on a Saturday morning. No one else is, but you still have to do it, and that's just the way it is.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.